Welcome back, City Skylines fans and players, to Capital City. This is Goma with Goma Games. Okay, we are moving down to the other end of the island here. We built the Casino Row and then some hotels here, a huge shopping mall, and a stadium area right there. And that's situated in between the downtown and the national airport here. And obviously got a freeway / interstate going this way, coming down this way, and then moving into an avenue this way, and then going out to some docks this way. Have a small suburb here with kind of an upscale kind of neighborhood in this area here. And we're going to build another kind of commercial district with some denser housing, residential in this area. So let's go ahead and get started here. Today what we're going to do, we're going to tie all this together, putting a couple intersections in, and getting ready to build that area. I'm going to turn the resolution down a little bit. A couple of the assets that we're using here, we're going to use vanilla overpass, and they don't react very well to higher end in placement. They look great in screenshots and everything, but when you're trying to place them, they're a little bit more difficult to work with. So I'm going to turn the resolution down a little bit so we can get those placed. Now what we're going to do, we've got a avenue coming around, circling around, going over the highway here and coming down to this gigantic roundabout here, and then connecting to a highway exit here, and then crossing over and connecting to this major intersection and the exit to the highway there. And then the highway goes through this interchange, comes down here, and it goes over. This is basically just to the shipping area over here. And I designed this because this is going to be mostly used by the oil and the plastic industry in this area here. So they're going to come through on this avenue and then go through this interchange and go out to that shipping area. So what we're going to build here today, we need to get this avenue across this road here, but we need an interchange so we can have through traffic. But I wanted to do something a little different. So I'm going to use the vanilla overpass assets, and I think they look pretty good. And I don't think, I haven't used them in this city at all. I haven't used them in this build. Or it's been quite a while ago. So let's go ahead and build. Let's go ahead and go down all the way down to 30. But I want to move it here, and I want to make these the same height. As this node here. So we raise those up a little bit. Okay, so then I'm going to create, this avenue is going to go under this road. This is essentially a collector avenue also, but it is 6 lanes. It's kind of, I'm going to make it limited access, even though it's not really a highway. I'm still going to make it kind of limited access. So we're going to use this node here. I'm just going to draw a dirt road out. Let's go ahead and do 12. And actually, while we're connected there, we're just going to go ahead and go out this direction just to create a node. See why I did that. Out 12. Turn the guidelines off. About 12 there. Okay, And so we've got 12 units from each on each side of the road there. So what we're going to do is connect. Yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to use a standard 4-lane road here, which is the same that we're using over here. So let's go ahead and we're going to draw this out. Let's go way out here because I need this. Let's go, yeah, let's just do 50. Yeah, we'll just do 50 units. And then we're not going to change this one because this is going to have to kind of create an angle or a curve into this. So we're going to leave that alone. Now, leaving these are kind of like, I guess, node savers. I don't know what you call this. But they're going to make sure that the road begins and ends exactly at 12 units from the center of this road is essentially what we're going to do. And because there is, I need to erase, destroy these two, because by going here and bringing this over 12 units, we'll drop down to 12 meters, which says 39 feet. I didn't know it was really that low or that high, but it may be, because you would think standard overpasses are like, I think 16 feet, but 5 meters, that's not, yeah, see, that didn't make any sense. I don't think these measurements are correct. So we're going to go down 12 meters, connect there. So it creates a tunnel entrance. So then we're going to go out and connect to this node here. We're going to go up and then go back to standard 6-lane road right here and connect this. Actually, we'll need to replace that. We'll go ahead and leave that on there for now. So we have that. Switch back over to the 2-lane road. Turn snapping off. I guess technically we need the guidelines now. So we'll turn the guidelines back on. And using the curve, so we will connect to the guideline here. That works. So now we have a nice overpass or underpass tunnel right here. I think that looks quite nice. So we got that taken care of. A little tree clipping. Yeah, I might too close, but we'll get rid of it for now. There is some walkways right here, crosswalks. So we do want to get rid of those. We're going to use no controller. I guess just clicking on it was enough to get rid of it. And then towards the end of the video here, we'll detail these and make them look good. But we'll do that. Get rid of this zoning adjuster. The thing tends to float around the screen. Not sure why it does that, but all right. So now we're gonna put in the overpass, and what we're gonna do, we need this to be symmetrical on both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the vanilla overpass road, and these assets are well, here's a set here, and then there's another set here, which is actually what we're going to use. We're going to use A, B, and C here. So we need C, and we need that Yeah, we need that here. And I think here. Actually, we're just going to turn all these to C. Maybe I'm going to be deleting a couple of these. And I think these right here will then be, this one will be B. And then this one will be E. That's probably the way it's going. Alright, so then we're going to go back. And it uses a combination. These are the, well, essentially it's 6 lanes. These are the 6 lane roads here. It depends on, it's broke down. You've got 2 lanes going one direction and then 2 lanes going the other direction, and then you have a center lane you got 1 lane going this way and then 1 lane going this way, but these are the exit lanes. So the exit lanes are on the inside instead of being on the outside. And I'll show you how that works here in a minute. So you go over to this small roads here, go down, and then these are the other roads for this vanilla overpass. You have a 4-lane road, which is 2 lanes going each direction, and then you have a 2-lane road, 1 lane going each direction, and then you have a 2-lane one-way road going both directions. So since we have 1 lane in the middle going each direction, we want to use this one here. So what we're going to do, grab this, and we're going to use we have road guidelines on. We'll go ahead and go out. We're going to use this node here. And we're going to go out to this zoning square. So essentially we're going out, what is that, 6? Yeah, we're going out 6 to the end of the zoning, and then we are going to go up. We're going to go all the way up to 12 meters. Which that says 39 feet. Like I said, that's not correct. And then you can do this 1 or 2 ways. You can go ahead and drop it down. The standard 12. Go all the way to the ground there. If you go any further, it won't do any. It still do that 12. But what I'm going to do is bring it up 1 and go all the way down to 20. So that way the slope is more gradual over the entire 20 units there. Do the same thing on this side. Down. And I didn't bring it up. On this part of it, you can go either direction. You can start down at the end and then you work your way up, or you go down and work your way down to 1 meter there. And so now it's an even slope on both sides there, and it's a nice slope there. I think that looks really good. Both are symmetrical, so I think that looks nice there. So now what we need to do now is we need to stay on this road, and we're at 39 feet, or, well, I'm not going to use that term. I'm going to use, well, you can just use 12 meters. We're at 12 meters, and so we want to turn on our curve tool, go down, and we're going to go over 12, because 12 is the center. Click on it, 12 more. Okay. So what we are in this segment here. We need to get rid of this segment right here. Segment. And get rid of that segment. 2 in the middle here. And I'll show you why we do that. Click on that again. We still have the curve tool on. Go over 12. 12 on this side. We're going to exact curve. Perfect. 12. Perfect. There we go. Now the way these work is if you've got it elevated and you are using just the standard normal option, it puts a concrete embankment underneath of it. If you select elevated, it does that also. Creates that concrete embankment. But if you switch to bridge and click on this to upgrade, that is where it causes it to disappear. And is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? I have to tweak this just a little bit. I have to tweak this just a little bit. So let's tighten this turn a little. Back to straight, go to roads. So maybe we'll go. Well, and we needed to go on, so yeah, so maybe we'll go down and we'll add. We'll add 2 units to that. And I know that's a bridge, but that's okay, we'll fix that here in a minute, that's not a big deal. And then, let's try this now. Because I want this curve to be symmetrical, so we've got 10 units, and then we'll go over 10 units. Alright, I think that's going to work perfectly. Switch over to elevated and to upgrade. So we'll upgrade this little slot here and the slot here. Perfect. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted it to do. Okay. Get rid of this. Add this in. We'll go out 2 units. Now, won't let you do that. So, okay, so, yeah, go back to road. Yeah, we'll just do the elevated. I have to go to 10. 2. There. That's perfect. Elevated and voila. The wrong one. Did the wrong one. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. So perfect. So that looks good there. So we'll go back to the 6-lane roads, or I guess it wouldn't really be 6-lane roads here because there's a wider median. But these are essentially, they work the same as these, except it turns one of the lanes into a median. It essentially is what the vanilla overpass does. So we want the C, and want to go ahead and add that in there. Add that back in there. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do, trying to see, yeah, that would work. So we're going to add, so we're going to upgrade. Yeah, that'll work. So we're going to upgrade this to B, not A, B. This one to B. And upgrade this one to B. And the reason why we're doing that is this part right here is the part that allows the ramp to connect to this road here, but it also allows the ramp to connect to this one here. So what you need to do, you need to keep these nodes because you want this to be exactly 10. So build your dirt road and probably want to keep it on the ground just to be safe side there. So build 2 dirt roads there. I don't know why that switched here, just have to switch it back. Interesting. Huh. Okay, bizarre. Okay, so I need to switch this one back to C, and this one over here. Back to B. Yeah. Okay, and then you do need to delete this one here, because you need to put the A one in. And then you put A, and the way the A works, A is a little tricky. Well, let's go ahead and, you should probably go ahead and put this in first. I don't think you have to, but I think it's a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and put, leave it as elevated. And then you want to make sure that you connect to the upper node. I want to zoom in just so people can see. Like here, we're connected down at the bottom. You want to make sure you're at the top. So connect there. And then will that work? Oh, you could just do that. Okay, that works. So you pull this all the way out. And regardless of whether you do this in 10 units, 12 units, or however many units, it's just wherever you connect, wherever this ramp ends, there has to be this unit, this particular road type, which is the B. So this is the C, the one with the thick overpass, or the thick median, and this is the B. So wherever this road ends is where it has to have the B. So you connect it there. That's nice. So that creates a nice even slope there. And do the same thing here. Make sure you're connected at the top. Go there. Perfect. And then switch back over to not the highways, the heavy roads. And then you want to switch to the A. The A, you want it on the normal or ground. You want it on the road. And you want it to try to go out like 3 units out. You're gonna have to finagle it with move it regardless of what you do because it's somewhere between 2 and 3, and then you have to start out here and move this direction. You can't start at this node and move this way because it has to be, it's directional. So you start 3 out, which essentially is just basically it's just one hop over. And then connect to that node, and then go ahead and delete the this. But because of starting 3 out, it's actually between 2 and 3 is the ideal position for this. So you have to manipulate it with a move it. Regardless of what you do, you just have to do it. There's no way to get around it. So you just very just gently move it. No big deal. and then go in with your standard road here. And you have to use the standard highway, the standard 6-lane road, excuse me, the standard 6-lane road. You can't use any of the new updated roads. The 6-lane road with median came with a new update. You can't use that. You got to use the one that originally came with the game. And then you just connect that, and there you go. So there you got a perfect ramp, and you got one lane going up the ramp, another lane coming down the ramp, and then you've got 2 lanes on both sides going in both directions there. And then you can go ahead and eliminate that, and then you have a perfect median through the middle there. And then just do the same thing on the other side. Go over to A. Go over 1 notch. Go back. Perfect. Although, and it looks kind of wonky. Looks kind of wonky with that road there, but once you delete it, it should correct it. It should correct it. So, just like here, it looks kind of weird. So once you delete that side road. Now, if you wanted to do an interchange in here, or an intersection, excuse me, as long as you're on this road, which is the C, any of the C's, and this is the same for all of these, for these 3 lanes roads here, and also for these roads here. You got the A and the B and the C. They all work the same. There's different combinations of the way it works, though. You have to read the description. They're called vanilla overpass. Is the name of the assets. Like this one here is 6 lanes, but it has 1 direction on the outside, and then you have 2 inside lanes going up the ramp. And then, well, I guess, yeah, this would be 1 going outside, and then 2 going up the ramp, and this one would be 2 going down the ramp, and then 2 coming along the side. So instead of there being, like this one here, instead of there being 2, 1, 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 2, 1. So the ramp would be expanded to the 4 lane, and then this one here, this A, matches that here. It changes that there, and then obviously the B creates the dummy space under there, and then the C does the same thing. It makes the median even wider, so there's only 1 lane down here instead of 2. But what I was going to say, you can put, as long as you're on this C road segment here, you can put intersections in here, and it does not change anything. So if you wanted to do this, this would be a clever way of like doing, like say you're wanting to create you had a busy intersection, but you wanted only the cars to turn, do left-hand turns or right-hand turns at the intersection, but you wanted the through traffic to go straight. You could run it up the ramp across the intersection and then back down the ramp, and they would never have to stop. Vice versa, you could have them do something where the left-hand turns only go up the ramp. The left-hand turns go up the ramp and then turn left on both sides, and then they come down the ramp on this side. So then the through traffic on both sides go through a stoplight, and then the right-hand turns go through a stoplight. So you could do something like that too, and that's what all these different combinations of roads do. So some of them are 1-way, some of them are 2-way, depending on what they are. You just have to experiment with them. In the description of them, it does say what they are, but it just depends on what they are. So we're going to go ahead and expand or drop this down to here. again, I'm going to go ahead and grab these nodes. Yeah, I want to grab these, but I don't want to go any further because I don't want to mess up that overpass. So I want to connect that to that, just raise that end a little bit, because we're building that up to create a bridge to go over into the oil area there. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice there. So you're coming down the road here. Yeah, coming down the road. Looks really nice. We probably should put some signs in, maybe, to make it look better. I don't know if we have any signs that are wide enough to go over all 6 lanes there and the parking on the side there, which reminds me we need to get rid of the parking. Obviously there's no parking on these vanilla overpass roads, but we need to get rid of parking on these here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now let's go ahead and move into this area here. So I'm thinking we're just going to create a exit here, or an interchange, or a intersection here. And basically what this is doing is just creating an exit ramp to one side, because we're going to build something here. I already have it planned out. So all of this will be one item here, and then I think we're actually going to bring another feeder road down here, and it's going to go underneath the bridge right here, as this bridge goes over the river there. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to create an intersection. So like people coming out of this neighborhood, and they would have to go under the road and then come to this intersection, and then whichever direction they wanted to go on this limited access collector here, they would just pick that, and then they would go there and use that. So we're going to go ahead and I think we're just going to stick to the nodes. I think we're going to use asymmetrical. We're going to use a 1x, let's use a 1x2. And so I think we're going to use, do we want to go that far down? Yeah. Didn't know if I want to go down this far or not, but I guess we will. I guess let's go out 6. That's not nice. The construction cost is hiding. There we go. Is that? It's a little wonky. See, I think I like this better. So if we need the other side to do this. There. Such an issue. Okay. So then, obviously we want to reverse these. Okay. And then we want to grab the, let's go ahead and stick with this road here. Yeah, because it's the same type. So we'll go ahead and stick with that. So I'm just going to leave it on the ground. Hopefully it'll create ground pieces. With a lot of crosswalks that we do not need. We'll get rid of those, but let's see what we can do with node controller here to. There we go, that works. A little bit of wonkiness with the terrain there, but that's fine. What was on there? Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. So what can we do with this intersection to make it a little bit more feasible or plausible? I think we're going to offset it just a little bit. And then maybe swing that direction, maybe. And you could use precise measurements on this, but to be honest, I just kind of eyeball it, see what especially on this particular city, because this is a more for a creative build than it is an actual functional city. So I'm doing it more for the looks of the intersection than anything else. So obviously you need to put your stop lines in there. We call them courtesy lines where I'm from. So I'm not sure what they're called around the world, but the line that you're supposed to stop behind. Not everybody does it, but you're supposed to. And then I put the crosswalks in because it makes them look a little nicer. Get rid of that. Didn't go over far enough. And do that. Alright, so crosswalks. Okay, so let's grab this one. We want to move this into the intersection to just get it off the curve. Want to do the same thing with that one, just to get it off the curve. Now these here, interesting. Trying to decide whether I want to twist those, what I want to do with them. No, I'll just do that. That kind of works pretty good there. I like that. Maybe instead of doing it all the way over there, maybe we'll do that. Doesn't give you an option. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just leave it like that. So we'll go over to the other side here and do the same thing there. Crosswalks. Switch over to this. And I think that looks pretty good there. It's kind of an awkward intersection, but you have to give it a little bit of turning radius there, a little bit of room. But I think that works. Right here, we don't want intersection marking tool. We want why is this? Oh, because it makes the transition. Okay. All right. So we still want the we want this. Hold the shift key down. Pick on this. Continue to hold the shift key and then pick on this, and it makes that where it's the same actually. I just messed that up. Let's go back to default. Because actually what I want is this intersection here. I want this one to line up with this. Yeah. And then we're going to have to play with this again. Go over to the intersection marking tool, and then we want this solid line, but we want it to be a solid double line. And we'll have to play with the spacing in between here. I'll set between right here. There we go. So that looks pretty good there. And then this one here, yeah, I really don't like the way this is working here. I think we're going to do this again. Maybe if we just take that, fix it. Okay, that fixed it. Go ahead and get rid of the markings again. Don't play with the nodes this time. We'll just leave that alone. And then click on intersection marking tool. Still a little bit of a sharp corner there, but and then maybe nah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't really like that. We're gonna leave this open like that. Yeah. I think that works. Yeah, I think that works. And then we'll do the exact same thing over here. Actually, I'll do that off camera. There's no point in doing that on camera. It's the exact same thing. So we'll put in the markings here. We're going to do a dotted line here. Grab that with grab that. Hold the control key down to shift this over just a little bit. See if we need to do anything here. Yes, we do. Shift that up just a little bit there. Do the same thing here. You have to move this one a whole lot. And yeah, we'll have to move this one just a little bit. And then obviously you can go in and adjust the distance between to make them match, which you just kind of go in with the lines and adjust the length of the dashes, that type of stuff. them match the other side there. And then there. And then this is a little bit thicker. Yeah. And then I don't know if there's there. And by using double dashed, you can make it as thick as these lines here. We're going to do that over here on this side too. We'll do double dashed. Bring the two dashes or two lines together. Oh, that's the width. Which I don't know. I guess there's not a width on the regular dashed. Oh, there is a width. Okay. So I guess you could do it that way too. Okay. So you can do it that way too. Either way, the key is just to make it match, so that way when you zoom out, there's not a difference in between them. You're gonna have a little bit of clipping here with the pavement, with these vanilla roads. There's other road textures out there that you can eliminate that, but usually when there's an elevation change, there's a little bit of a clipping there. Hit Control Shift F, and it brings up these smaller little dots. And by doing this, you're doing a fill function. Brings it over to the fill menu, and then just go down to pavement. If you've got clipping here, you need to offset it. Want it from this here, yeah. So it backs it off of that, so it keeps it from clipping. But you got to be careful, because if it clips, you bring it too much, it will drop it over here and create a gap. And then you can hold your control key down and adjust this one and this one. That looks pretty good. Well, that one actually looks decent. So that looks pretty good. Yeah. So then again, the texture's not perfect, but it's really close. Alright. Now the last thing we're going to do, we're going to create a intersection over here. Obviously we'll do the same thing over here. We're going to create an intersection over here with some turn lanes, which we've already got an asymmetrical there, but we're going to do another asymmetrical here. We're going to go, let's see, I think we're going to use, I'm going to use 3 lanes here. Would that be better? Or maybe we can use 4 lanes. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to use 4 lanes here. How that works. And then 4 here. Go into no controller. All you have to do is click on it, eliminate the crosswalks. And honestly, what I would do here is, because of so many lanes over here, I would match up these two. Which you can barely see. And the reason why I would do that is just because, there we go, that and that. I would do that just because there's so many lanes on this side, and let these two lanes kind of do the wobble, because, yeah, they could change lanes there if they want, but they're only going to be going, they got two choices. You're either going to be in the right lane or you're going to be in the left lane. Whereas coming into here, you've got 4 lanes here, and there's going to be some serious weaving through here. So you want these 2 lanes to be as straight as possible, and then let them weave over into this other lane, is my thinking. Now, whether it's done like that in real life or not, I have no idea, but that makes most sense to me. So we're going to create a fill here, and I'm actually going to bring it to here. Bring that down and make that pavement there. Looks pretty good there. I do want to bring this down a little bit. Yeah. And, oh yeah, this one here definitely is coming up a little bit. That looks pretty good. That looks good there. That looks good there. And now what we can do is grab this one here. Control Shift. And then grab this line. This one. Go all the way down to this one. And then all the way back. And then obviously you can make this segment smaller to kind of make it look better. I'm not going to here, but by doing that, it kind of gives the impression that there's a little bit of room to move here, and but you have a node here and you have a node here, so that means they could be in this lane. Yeah, they could be in this lane, switch here to this lane, and then switch here. I guess they'd still be short 1. Yeah, they'd have to be over in this lane to begin with, and then switch into this lane, and then this node here switch into the left-hand turn. But we're going to go ahead and leave that, and then this one here, I think we're going to go ahead and just do this one as a 3, and then use the node controller here. And I guess we could go over one more if we wanted to, but I don't think so. I think we're just going to stick with the 3, and then we're going to do the same thing here. But instead of using that extra segment to go all the way down, we're just going to use the connection between the nodes to create that other line. And then obviously just go in and connect these real fast. And then we'll want to straighten these out just a little bit. Yeah, I don't think there would actually be one. There wouldn't actually be a line. Well, I guess in some places there would be, but in others there would not be. But because of the way I set this up, there is lines for that further one. So this would be a dotted line there. That would be a dotted line there. I guess I'm going to go ahead and do these, because by doing it this way, there's a dotted line that goes all the way to the median there. So we're just going to do that. We're going to go ahead and just do a dotted line, because it matches the other side, so it looks better that way. Alright, and then go into node controller here. Even that out a little bit. We want to get rid of the vanilla markings because those crosswalks are horrible. Add in the courtesy lines. And then add in the crosswalks. And of course I forgot the lines here. That looks pretty good there. Although there would not be, I don't know why this game does this. My entire driving career, I very rarely, I can only think of one intersection where you have a left turn lane and a straight at the same location. Most of the time, that is the way it's set up. I might be wrong. Maybe the majority is the opposite. Maybe just in my area, that's not the way it is. But most of I can only think of one intersection out of everywhere that I've been. There's only one intersection where the left turn lane is also the straight lane. So I don't know if maybe that is the norm in your area. I don't know, but that's definitely not the norm in my area. So I switch those around all the time. So I think that looks pretty good. So we got that in there. That looks really nice. That looks nice. We're going to do that later. We've already done that. We've got that in there. I think we're gonna do a little detailing through here. I think what we're gonna do is add my my favorite parks, the little cultivated grass. Gonna add the fours. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to add it all the way down. Why is that not turning? Interesting. That's new. As you can see, some of it, there's some clipping in there, so we're going to have to play with it a little bit. But if you go on down here, this is going to look perfect. And then we got a little bit of clipping there. And sudden this park is not off. They used to turn off. Oh, that's going over that road. So we might not be able to. Yeah, we might not be able to use it. You remember from my past videos, the just got a little just happy there. The 3 has a different texture than the 4. The 4 and the 2 and the 1 have one texture, and the 3 has a completely different texture. So I don't try to use the 3 very often. And did that mess up? Yeah, I messed it up over here, but I'll fix it. So let me see. Oh, there it goes. That switched off. I have no idea why. Okay, see, that clips over the road there. So maybe we move that road up just a little bit. That makes it worse. So maybe we'll move it down a little bit. See if that gets any better. There, okay. So it looks a little bit better there. So that's quite a distance there of cultivated grass there. And then what I'm thinking is we have our choices of a number of different roads here. Of all these different sidewalks and trees and that type of thing. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do something like maybe it's like going into a nicer area maybe. Kind of like that. Maybe some trees here. And just let's switch the trees out a little bit. No, I like this one, but oh, okay. Well, that one doesn't look too bad, I guess. Yeah, this tree here, flame tree from the, I think that's the new update. I think this tree is from the African continent. Never heard of it, but I really like it. It's got a nice shade of red, and I like the branches. And I really like that. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if we're going to use it here, but I think it's kind of cool. Then the old one, and then I've got a couple of these cherry blossom trees that I download. I really like this one up close, but when you zoom out, it kind of fades away. But this one, the up close isn't quite as nice, but it sticks around longer, so I'm thinking that's probably the one I'll use the majority of the time. And then maybe have some additional trees. I don't know if we'll use oaks. That won't be too big. Maybe a standard pine tree here or something. Yeah, the prop line tool ever since the I think it was the provenance updates. It requires you to click on the item twice when you're doing the line prop line tool. That's kind of nice there. Yeah, I really like that. I don't know if we'll leave it this way, but I really like that. We've got the intersection in, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to move on over. We're going to put in some dense residential in this area. Obviously off camera, I'm going to fill all this in. And I'm probably going to detail these areas right in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it, I don't know if I'm going to leave it here with this grass because I'm not really, this grass doesn't look really good compared to the other, this cultivated grass here, but I may actually just remove all that because obviously we're going to do it down this side too, but I may just remove all that and put in some ground cover like I did with the ground cover here, and just do something like that, some layered effect there. So we may do that. Yeah, we may do that, and then just leave this grass here, because the two grass textures together don't really work that well. So, but hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for the channel, and next video we're probably going to go through, pretty much going to pick up where we left off here, maybe with a little of this done, some the line work done in there, and then we're going to move in and start putting in some denser residential areas. Maybe not high density, but it would be like more of a medium density, even though this game really doesn't have a medium. But the kind of 3, 4, 5-story apartment buildings, maybe along this area here with some parking. And then obviously there is going to be a commercial district in here. Now I'm thinking I may do a small, another small leisure district over this direction, even though this entire other part of the island is a leisure district. But I mean, we may do a small leisure district with a concert, an outdoor concert location or something like that. And then we'll go from there and fill this in. The next, what we're planning on doing after that is I'm going to build the bridge across this, build this collector all the way over to the highway over here, build another interchange here to connect that across there, and then we're going to put in some an oil district with a refinery, maybe a plastics factory, that type of thing, just in this area right here. It won't be heavily detailed. It's not going to be very large. I think I'm just going to put some pump jacks spread out through this area here, because they're really not on top of each other in real life. I mean, they're pretty close, but they're not packed in like subdivision, like houses are in subdivisions. But there's a good deal of space in between each of them, probably maybe a couple acres, I'm kind of guessing. And I imagine different oil fields are different too. But we're going to fill that in and do all that, and then after that, we're going to build a small farming community up here with some additional fields, maybe in this area, and another subdivision like this, or like this area here, right along here. And then I think that's pretty much it. We're going to close this build out, because we're getting close to the limits of the build itself and the capacity of the game. Thus, the reason why I have to reduce the resolution of the game itself in order to just make it where it's even workable. And then we're going to move on. I've got a couple other projects in the planning phases, so I think we're going to move on to that after that. So we got probably we got a few more videos left, and then we're going to move on to the next project. So I'll make those announcements here in a bit. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell icon for the next video. And we'll see you next time. This is Gomer with Gomer Games. Thank you for your time.